Hey guys, so welcome to day 5 of World Watercolor Month. So we are doing a month-wide series of and celebrating watercolors to its maximum. So if you have not looked at all the previous 4 tutorials that I have pasted on my channel, I would highly recommend you to go through them. We are painting very easy, beginner-friendly paintings. Even if you are an intermediate artist who want to build a practice of painting continuously and on daily basis, I think this is the platform for you, and I would be really happy if you join me here. So today we are going to paint a night sky. Okay, it would be a combination of your mauve, purple, and then the blue sea, or maybe a lake, still lake kind of thing. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and start painting it. Now for this particular painting, we are not gonna paint the whole entire paper. We don't want to paint wet the whole paper right just now. So what we are gonna do, we are just would be doing, let's say how do I go? Okay, so I'm just thinking how do I do it. So we'll go ahead and wet the first half of the paper. Okay, so we'll wet the half of the paper and make sure you go wet a little extra, right? So then all the layers that are coming on are kind of very soft. Okay, if you are not familiar with the beginner friendly concepts or techniques of watercolor, or you're not sure about the color theory, I highly recommend you to check out my other tutorials which are around same. So you can have a look at my playlist, which is Friday tutorial, which has all the beginner friendly paintings, and you can also check my another playlist called as Watercolor Beginners, which talks about all these areas. Okay, so I'm gonna take my violet color, okay, mix it with a bit of ultramarine blue, and then we start painting from top. And I'm gonna take mauve, okay, and then add it down below here. Okay, and then I'm just taking I'm taking my rose or caramine, right, very diluted quantity, and we'll just paint it here on this side, because on the other side we are gonna paint a mountain which will eventually cover it. Okay, so you see how beautifully it has all blended together, right? Now what we are gonna do is we'll create a mountain from here, and we are doing 2 mountains. Okay, so one would be like a dark mountain at the back, so we'll do a dark mountain at the back, right? That's what we said. Okay, and we fill this whole paper. Okay, so that's one mountain range. So that is one mountain that we have created. Now the other one that I'm gonna create, it would be more darker than this one, but then we'll do that layer once this layer is dried up, because if I do now, it's gonna start blending and will not make a lot of sense. So till that time, what are we gonna do? We'll just cover the bottom portion of it. Okay, so just wet the paper and you can touch it, no problem, right? So what will happen, your colors will start falling down, and that's where I get a chance to correct the segregation layer for both of them. Now why I'm allowing this, because the bottom layer is still itself is blue, so it doesn't harm me if blue travels back down, right? I don't mind it. So I'm again using my same flat brush. I am gonna use a mix of ultramarine and cerulean this time. Okay, and we'll start from the bottom. So now if you see, there's just too much water, right? So I'm gonna remove this extra water because it just dilutes my color and doesn't make sense. So now I'm gonna pick up a thick quantity of color. We'll start with the bottom and we'll go all the way up. So we are doing a gradient wash but in a opposite direction. So for a gradient wash we are going from bottom to top. Okay, I've explained all these techniques very well in my initial classes. To do, have a look if you get chance. Okay, so this is done. Now what I want to do, I want to add like ripples on this water, but I will add them once the painting is a semi-dry state. Now what is a semi-dry state? A semi-dry state is a state where my paper is not completely wet but still wet enough for me to do the another layer and it blends, or it is a layer between dry and wet, so that I get to lift colors, blend colors, but then not let anything disperse and then disrupt everything that is all on the way, right? So we'll just wait for some time and come back and then do the next part of this painting. Okay, so now my layer is semi-dry. You also see this water puddles that is on your tape, right, on the side. If I were you, I would just remove this, because if it travels back to the painting, it's gonna spoil my painting. Okay, now I'll be using the same flat brush because I'm doing another layer of the mountain, and this time my mountain would be a combination of Payne's grey and ultramarine blue, so like kind of dark again, right? But then this would be a different mountain, so I would keep it a little high here, and then it just dies down here, like it goes and dies down, right? It's the same thing. Okay, so that's my another layer of the mountain. And now for the water. So for the water, if I want to do ripples, I can do with fat brush also, but I'll take a round brush. That makes more sense, right? And I'm going to take a darker version of cerulean. You can mix it with a little bit of ultramarine blue, so to give it a darker base, and then start drawing around ripples. Okay, depending upon how dry or wet your paper is, you can change the ratio of your color, like make it dark, extra water, no water, little water. You have to take that judgment call. Like you'll have to see how this ripple that you're drawing are reacting with your paper, and then based on that you start creating them. Okay, so we'll keep adding. And on the top right, I don't want to add too much, so I will just add few here and there, not much. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Now just have a look at your painting from a distance, and if you feel like something is missing, you should be adding something, then we can have a look at it as in what we want to add. Okay, you want to blend something, correct something, take a wet brush, and all is possible. So a lot of people say that mistakes in watercolor can't be corrected. That is like partially true. It depends upon what stage of the painting you are, right? So if you are doing intermediate state of painting where you still have like lot of details to be added, then yeah, I think it can be done. It also depends upon what paper, color, material you are doing and how much it allows you to play with it. For me, bohong is wonderful, because even at the final stage of painting, if I want to like lift something, it will allow me to do that. And I do like lot of animal drawings. It really comes in handy, where I'm able to lift colors to give them effect. textures and everything, right? So yeah, it just works wonder for me. The another paper that I have tried, which is very good for lifting, is lana paper. Okay, that is also like too good. And then my paper choice keeps on changing, right? So if I'm doing landscape, then I would really like to do Bohong or Saunders watercolor paper. Saunders is my recent favorite. But then if I'm doing portraits, right, if I'm making a portrait, then I would really go for Arches because they're awesome. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it. I did kind of adjusted the bottom layer as I wanted it to be, and the last bit, so I will just do my signature, and that's it. Okay, so now what we can do is we can add a crescent moon over here. Now you can do that with white gouache if you have. If you don't have white gouache, you can also make use of your white gel pen, or if you don't even have a gel pen, then white watercolors would also do fine, but just make sure that you're picking up very thick quantity of white watercolors. Okay, so I will go ahead and add it here somewhere. Okay, that's what. Okay, so this is how pretty it is looking, see? And then we can add like random stars over here because we were going to make a night scene anyway, right? So along with it, but then while you are adding it, I would just want you to hide the bottom part of it, so just hide it. Okay, and I'm gonna add like few here. Okay, perfect. Ta-da! We are done. So thanks everyone for joining. Hope you have enjoyed. Now is the time to take out our masking tape. So let's take them out. Wow, this is looking so pretty. Wow, isn't this gorgeous? I love it. So simple and yet so beautiful. So I hope you guys have enjoyed painting this with me. So we are done with week 1 of World Watercolor Month, and I'm so proud of myself and then you guys who are supporting me and be here part of my channel. I really appreciate your support, so do not forget to subscribe, comment, like, share, and then show this to your family members also. Let's spread creativity, right? Tag me if you're doing this. I would be happy to share this on my stories. See you next week with 5 more paintings. Bye bye.